What's going on, world? We're back. It's the NRW Nerds Rule the World. I'm Kuya P, and I'm joined by my pal Heather Hertz. How are you, Heather?
Good. How are you today?
I'm
Kind of
good.
snowy outside.
Yes, it is snowy outside. Snowed in. I think both of us were supposed to be in our offices. I don't know about you. I was supposed to be in the office, but I'm here to record, which is great. So we can get it knocked out for the week. Thank you for joining me, Heather, as always. What are we in the second week of January right now?
Third week of January already.
Okay. Last week was a banger week. This week it seems like it's a slow week. Last week there was so many good stuff dropping. Beekeeper, if y'all haven't caught that yet, that was great. I think first week was like depressing stuff. Memory and Society of Snow. I think you and I did the first week of stuff, and then Eldon Webster Style recorded with me last week, and now you and I are back again. And it looks like a slow week. We had a depressing week, and now it's kind of like a weird slow week. But I looked at the pics, and I think we got some projects we can at least talk about, Heather, for the people that want something new and fresh outside of catching up with other things. But before we do that, do we want to like recommend, or is there anything you've seen since we last talked, recommend, or what people should stay away from?
Trying to think of what I've watched other than the loads of things that I've had to catch up on, so that you and I can do a whole bunch of reviews that will be coming up on the channel. So make sure you subscribe to stuff. What have I watched? What have I watched? Oh my gosh, I don't remember. There are some new animes that are out. Definitely check some stuff out on Crunchyroll. One thing though that I will say that I will tag in here, as someone who has been watching anime since I was 10, which is, that is, we're moving into a third decade here. I have never watched Ranma One Half. I don't know why I never have watched Ranma One Half.
Neither have I.
Well, to say that I kind of fall into the rather typical, I don't like to use the binary in any way, but just as an explanation to this, it's usually a very girly anime. A lot of girls who like shows like Sailor Moon often use that as in Card Captor, often use that as a breaking point into more like day in the life animes. And I've just never put it on my schedule. I've never put it on there. Hulu has it, so I finally started it. So I am finally starting the Ranma anime, and so now I can actually be called a legitimate fan again, I guess.
Well, my daughter, I think, is into that day in the life stuff, and she's never seen. I would say those are more like the OG stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like into the nows, I guess, and that's like old school. I don't know.
Like there's a lot of young anime. Anime has changed since the 1980s when Ranma came out, and who watches what, who watches when. It doesn't make you any less an anime fan than somebody else.
So that's what I would say about you. You're not any less of a fan because you didn't see it yet. So
but I've been watching anime for a long time, and my number one anime was out well before I was born. So
okay. Well, I was just trying to basically say that doesn't make you any less of a fan that you didn't see it.
It's just one of those where watch anime as you like it, watch television as you like it, watch movies as you like it, be a fan as you want to be a fan. That does not make you any less a fan. I'm just making fun of myself because I've literally the list of anime that I haven't watched is a lot shorter than the list of anime that I have, and for some reason one of the most popular was just not checked off. So.
I got you on that. I feel you on that. I'm sure there's a few things I should have seen as a film fan that I haven't yet. So catching up on anime, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Other than the stuff that we'll see. You'll just follow us on the channel and you'll see other things.
Awesome. Well, my film nerd self has actually a couple years back I visited Monroeville Mall in Pennsylvania, which is the Mall of Dawn of the Dead, the OG mall.
The OG, the second Dawn of the Dead, technically.
Yeah, yes. Well, then there was the Dawn of the Dead. Zack Snyder said, I don't count that as the Dawn of the Dead. It was okay.
Oh no. The original Dawn of the Dead, but you do have technically the second one in the series. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes.
Horror movie nerds.
No, I see where you're getting at. But I visited that, and I recorded when I went on that trip. I recorded all of that to do some like BTS stuff, and was thinking as a new thing for the channel, doing like film locations, because as a filmmaker myself, as an actor, I've worked on a lot of different sets here in the DC area, and I haven't seen like YouTube videos of like, check out this. This is where this was shot. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, man, I should be the guy for the East Coast, or at least DC area, to show some of that film love. And then also, since I'm close to Pittsburgh, I'm close to different areas, to do that. And I kind of started with the Monroeville Mall stuff, and I need to put that edit together along with some other stuff I have to edit for the channel. I'm not forgetting about you, Heather, because as soon as I thought about it, like, there's something I have to interview for Heather. I mean, edit for Heather. But yeah, some stuff that I want to do, and I've been watching a lot of film location stuff on YouTube to just kind of get the gist. But eventually, soon, and hopefully, I can get you and other people on the team. We are so close to so many awesome sites of where they filmed a lot of cool stuff, and it would be cool to like show you all, and have that kind of stuff on the channel for people that are really film nerds like myself, that want to see, here's from that scene, and here this is now, and has it changed or whatever. But kind of cool stuff like that. If you're a big film nerd like me, like when I went up to Niagara Falls like 2 years ago, I wanted to stand in the place where Superman took off at Niagara Falls, and had like a whole scene where he rescued a kid that fell into the water. I'm a film nerd like that. So anyway, I've been watching stuff like that, Heather. Are you into stuff like that? Do you ever get like nerdy? Have you ever visited like the Eskersis steps here in Washington, D.C.?
I honestly am not the type of person who really cares about that stuff, because so much of that tourism,
I'm not your audience.
So much of that tourism also creates some serious problems when it comes to environmental impacts, and it comes to
you're right.
structural impacts. So when it comes down to it, I'm going to use a really great example of the Greyfriars Kirkyard in Scotland. I am a huge graveyard person. I will spend all of my time there. I'm definitely one of those people that has picnics in graveyards. But thanks to Rowling not pushing her up or anything, actually I'm pushing her down, because she literally stole people's names. But it's one of those where, because of her connection with that graveyard, there have been graves that have been completely destroyed. People walk haphazardly over things. So using that like as a statement, yeah, it's really cool, especially since we're in DC so much. You could literally just walk, down the mall and be like, that's where Captain America had ran. That is where the scene in National Treasure happened. You can just do that all over DC and just have it all. But it's one of those where it's also a huge detriment to the environment. And so I'm like, it's cool. I'm not one of those people that seeks it out, though.
I got you. Well, it's like we visit historical sites, and my whole thing is, and I completely agree with you, because I worked on those sets, but I also am a history guy. We visit museums. It's as long as you're doing it responsibly and respectfully, key, and you don't take from that place, because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to like write my name on this, or I want to take a piece of this place. Don't do that. Just because we want it to be there for generations. So people can come and see that. So as long as you're doing it responsibly and respectfully, I'm all about that. So I will temper that with those adventures and when I do those trips. But I think there's something to be said. This is why we visit special sites. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not doing it to that effect, like I agree with you 100%. If you're not doing it responsibly and respectfully, then screw you, people. That is what I'm going to be doing when I go on these adventures and show people some of the cool things that, it's cool. It's cool, to see. So anyway, that's what I've been watching. That's what Heather's been watching. But let's talk about what you can watch if you want to watch something new. Again, there's so many other things that have come out in recent weeks. So check that out. See some of our picks from our previous episodes where we break those down. But you ready to start from the end, Heather, with this first pick? Because this one is called The End We Start From. You ready to check this one out?
Sure. Rock on.
All right, let's go.
Starting by deflating Yuki's bubble like right at the beginning.
Do you want to go and have some dinner?
Oh, good.
Well, I don't know you.
I don't know you either. Could be a disaster.
It isn't real anymore.
Hi.
What you miss doesn't exist.
What's going on? I'm just having a moment, you know. Make a wish. I don't understand what this rejection of the world means.
Where are you going to go?
Home. Going home.
Interesting. All right. Post-apocalyptic film set in London, and you're pregnant at the same time. That can be very scary. Very interesting. What do you think about this one, Heather?
I think that we're going to see a lot of emotional trauma and turmoil based like these films as we continue through the environmental changes that we are seeing. And it's going to feel more and more difficult to watch these kinds of movies.
Yes.
So it's definitely curious. I'm very curious. It looks very heavy. It looks like it's going to take the entire situation very seriously. And it's also going to show some truths about the separation of family during these massive events, which is going to be very, very, I think it looks really well done. But this also looks like one of those movies you need to be in the proper mindset for.
Yeah.
So if you are someone who is currently in a status of the world is ending because we are literally destroying our own planet, this might not be the movie for you. That's kind of how I got this.
Yeah. And then with the conversations you and I have, and you bring this up, I know it's center of your mind. And I definitely feel it. And with everything I am involved with and experience in raising a child right now, and what kind of a world am I leaving my child right now? I'm with you on that. So I think it's definitely something it's probably going to hit us both really hard. And yeah, you got to get ready for it. But hopefully with films like this, as I would say, the reason why creatives and filmmakers is to help get people stop what the fuck you're doing right now. Let's stop destroying the world. It's to bring it to the forefront of their minds and help create change. So I do hope people see this, and with us picking this film, let's stop it when we can now before we spiral even further, which is sad to see. So
I don't mean to make it so sad. It looks like it does look like a film that's going to take the situation, whatever situation that they are talking about, whether it be historical or otherwise, very seriously. I'm just saying that for movies like this, we're going to start seeing a more and more art reflects life. We have to do it. Just make sure you're in a good mindset. You're in the right mindset before you jump into this. That's all. That's what I see in this film. So.
Very important. And I think the Brits will definitely kind of speak truth there, or at least I hope.
I hope so.
All right, let's head over to the ISS. What does ISS stand for? Is that the International Space Station? Well, let's head over with Bleecker Street to ISS.
Down here in Mission Control. Welcome to space. The Russians always knock 3 times.
I think it's just a superstition.
Listening to the wind of change.
Whoa. I mean, I've seen pictures, but this is...
We don't talk politics. Here we are. One.
Hey, guys.
Wait a minute, what the hell is going on down there?
Oh, whoa.
We gotta get out now, guys. Let's get out.
Oh, my God.
Земля, это экипаж МКС.
Houston, do you read?
War has broken out below. And we were told to take the ISS.
By any means necessary.
If we got orders from our government to take control.
What do you suggest we do now?
The Russians got the same orders as us. And they just struck first.
Struck first. Mutually, we're evolved species.
Wow. Yo, damn.
You picked some
Some heavy
movies
ass.
this week. Jeez.
Jesus Christ, Heather, girl. Shit, the next one's a post-apocalyptic shit too. What the fuck? Man.
There was I actually had a conversation about this not too long ago, how and they've talked about this a lot. You've been seeing this more on the news. It's what's going to happen if something detrimental happens with our relationship with certain superpowers, especially as they shift their superpowers more into a not a totalitarian situation to a completely totalitarian situation. And we don't want to get in trouble with that, so I'm going to choose my words very wisely here. But it's one of those where what happens if our relationship shifts downward, because we are in a very different situation than we were in the 1970s, 1980s, and leading into the 1990s. We have much different technologies. Our technologies are very, 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 very different. How we can do things are very, 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 very different. And one thing that we have had in common, our literal collaborative point, was the International Space Station, and what happens if that falls. And not like falls to the ground. That would be awful. That's not what I'm talking about. But like if that relationship crumbles, who would take it? Who would be responsible for it? That's a very important conversation that I know that is currently affecting the scientific community. This movie is going to, I would not be surprised if this type of film would emotionally break a lot of people, because people start running for water, people start running for certain situations, and people start distrusting other people. Once again, art needs to reflect life. This actually is a problem if things do continue to deteriorate. I will say this, I don't know if I would be able to emotionally handle this movie. I don't think I could. I'm going to say that, quite honestly.
Dude, that was a powerful trailer. Scary. I think I'm crazy enough. I want to see things and see how scenarios play out. That's been part of some of the traditions I've had to know, and how to, then by running that scenario, then you learn how to prevent that scenario. But scary as fuck. Damn. And now the next, it's like we went from one post-apocalyptic film. I didn't even realize that I chose 3 post-apocalyptic films. It's like we went from sorrowful, first week, amazing action-packed films last week, and now it's like post-apocalypse this week. What the fuck, man? I'm very interested in that one. Very scared with that one as well. I echo all of your sentiments. I can't go any further in regards to certain thoughts that I have and knowledge I have with some of that film. But man, crazy. Let's just get this over with. The last pick this week, Heather, we are heading into The Kitchen, coming to Netflix. Let's check this out. Wow.
Good morning. This is the Lord Kitchen, live and direct.
I'm getting out of this place.
It's our home.
Shit gets real. Saving myself.
Hold my head and saw the whole sky.
So where do you live?
Kitchen.
If there's smoke, then I'll be wild.
Is it really like what they say it's like?
Yeah.
You ain't say it by yourself.
What's your name? You ain't built like them.
I haven't got anywhere else to go.
What's he to you?
Friend of mine.
Some friend.
Go.
What's happening?
Want to know what it's like, right? This is war. I wish my dad prepared me. My mom, she said, you never loved her. Oh, you would have loved me.
Wow. Okay. That looks pretty cool. Another post-apocalyptic film set in London, but one we haven't seen a lot of POC-led, really well done sci-fi thrillers like this. Attack the Block, where we first got introduced to John Boyega, is a classic. This kind of gives me those vibes, and just really well done. That one looks pretty cool. I'm very curious about that one. What about you, Heather?
Absolutely. It looks, I have a feeling that it's not going to be the plot we assumed from that trailer, because it really didn't give too much, but at the same time, I feel like this is going to be a very plot driven, it looks like a show, not a movie. I'm not really sure.
It's a film. It is
a film. Okay.
Yeah.
The plot didn't seem solid in the trailer, so I have a feeling.
Yeah, it didn't give you everything. And even now looking at the description, it's not giving you everything either.
Okay, so I'm definitely curious to see what it's about. It seems very kind of some of those stereotypical resource war, neighborhood war kind of combatant situations in a not necessarily post-apocalyptic, more like in a dying planet scenario. Not trying to bring us back down. It's just that's kind of how the vibe it gave. But I have a feeling, once again, I don't think that's actually the description. That's actually what's going to happen. I think there's something a lot bigger, and I'm definitely curious to see what that bigger is.
Yeah. It's a class film. Reading this kind of brief, there's only like a couple 2 lines that I'm looking at here. The gap in a dystopian London, the gap between rich and poor has been stretched to its limits. A story of fatherhood and love for the community. So I'm assuming, father-son connects in this kind of very messed up time period, and kind of saving the community in different ways, or just saving each other and surviving. But anyway, if anything, this week is all about surviving. We start from ISS and the kitchen. Some dark, deep looks into the future. Hopefully not the future if we can change it, if we can educate ourselves and come together. But it looks bleak the way the world is right now outside our doors. What do you think about these picks, Heather? I'm sorry to depress you this week.
This week seems like a lot of just be in a good emotional state before you just pay attention to what you're going into before. As always, make sure you're reading things like the description. Make sure you're doing things like looking at ratings before you go into stuff, because it could really change your perception. It could also change your entire mental status. Art is art on purpose, but at the same time, it is also meant to affect you on purpose. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up, because everything actually looks really good. Some of it, you just got to be prepared for it, especially the ISS. Like I'm kind of freaking out about the ISS, but I actually do want to see it. I just need to see it in the safety and the comfort of my own home, where I can pause it when I need to stand up and walk away.
Yeah. I'm with you, and brilliantly said. In regards to, making sure you're in the right state of mind, educating yourself. Completely agree, Heather. So well said. While I like my picks, at the same time, because it was a kind of a weird week, we really didn't get stuff to promote. None of these picks we've heard of before this week. I know for myself, generally I'm prepping, as y'all know if you watch the channel, for my picks I'm going to be presenting on the radio. Nothing was really put in front of us this week, so these were kind of just thrown together, and very interesting. I'm very intrigued by them. I'm surprised we didn't react, because I'm sure we probably would have gone in a little bit more in depth into each one of these. But very curious. But yeah, got to get ready to get into that right emotional state, because it's a scary world out there. But there you go. Let us know if we missed anything, if there's anything you recommend, or if there's anything bright and cheery outside of that you would suggest that's already been shown, screened, came out, or coming up soon. We'd love to chat about and talk about it. So there you go. I'm Kuya P, Heather Hertz. All of our links in the description below. You ready to get up out of here, Heather? And let's get something bright and cheery in our minds right now. I need a Care Bear stare right now. I need a Care Bear hug. You got balloons. Balloons.
I got balloons.
I'll take the balloons. We're out, y'all. Kuya P, Heather Hertz.